Hello, this is Denver McMurray. I'm going to be your teacher for Physics 1415 501 for the summer session, and welcome to the class. Uh, just takes you some things here just to kind of show you how the class is set up and how to do it. Of course, once it opens, you can see this for yourself, but I just thought I'd give you a little preview and kind of get you ready for the course. Okay, so you go to your dashboard, of course, and you should have this course once it's open. All right, not so much now. There are some announcements. Don't worry about those. They won't be there probably, but here we go. Um, first thing, of course, it says welcome, blah, blah, but right here is a video. If you click here, it will show you a video, basically the one that I'm making right now. So obviously this video is not there, but it will be when you look at it. So that's the first thing. Second of all, it says click here to see the syllabus. This is the online copy of the syllabus for this course. All right, this is the actual syllabus. All right, and it goes down through all this kind of stuff here. All right. There's also a place on the home page where you can download a copy if you like to have a paper copy. I understand that. Then you can do that. Also a PDF if you'd like. So let me just go through a few things here. All right, being online, obviously, I don't have office hours or appointments, but you can always contact me at my email. I try to check at least once or twice a day, but some days if I happen to be on my computer, boom, I may respond right away, and people say, "Wow, he's sharp." Okay. Other times it might be half a day or whatever. So anyhow, if you happen to be in the middle of a quiz or something like that, and you have a question, a problem with the quiz or something, then I can we'll try to reset it or something if it was something you needed to know right then in the middle of the quiz and you can't get out of the quiz and stop it. So anyhow, but anyway, get a hold of me at that email. Now we'll get back in touch with you. Okay, the course, real quickly, is a survey course of the really survey kind of all the different branches of non-life science, basically. And this one is primarily the first semester, 1415, is basically the study of physics. All right, general scientific concepts and how they relate to everyday living, motion mechanics, momentum, heat, electricity, magnetism, sound, etc. You could read all that. Okay, the key thing is it's concepts. I'm not going to have a lot of math, okay, because I'm not really worried if you can do the math so much. And sometimes people can do the math, but they don't really understand what they're doing the math about. Okay, this is more about understanding the concepts of the physics rather than a lot of calculations. Not saying there won't be any calculations, just saying that's not our emphasis. All right, the textbook that comes with this class is The Physical Universe, which is available online through the Canvas, and when you signed up for the course, that's part of the deal. All right, just for the record, that course is not the original course. That's only when they made this into an online course. They put that one on there because it works online. So since it was not the textbook that I developed the course with, it will work probably. It probably has some good things, but it may cover some things I don't, and so forth. It may not match up directly to what we are covering in class. All right, so the course that I did develop the course, the textbook, sorry, the textbook I did use to develop the course is this one. I don't know if I can see you there, but anyhow, basically Conceptual Physical Science Explorations. Hewitt, Hewitt, is the main producer, writer, author. And there's a couple other guys that helped him, but anyhow, keyword is conceptual physical science explorations. And so if you would like a book or you don't find the book online useful or it doesn't correlate very well, I would recommend going online and finding a used copy of that. Usually you just go and do a search for that. Google, you can find under $20, sometimes even $6 or $7 a copy of that. So anyhow, just up to you. If it were me, I would probably just not accept. I think you can not accept the physical universe and just get that. But that's up to you. This course is set up with video lectures and notes and so forth. That the idea is that you could do it without a textbook. I know some people have not bought a textbook and seem to survive. It just depends. Sometimes some people prefer to have the textbook so they can go and clarify things if they have questions about something. It's up to you, your call on that. All right. Like I said, will be lecture videos. There will also be videos that will have demos. It's kind of covers some of the material in the lecture, but also did some live demos, although some chapters have less demos than others, depending. But those will be basically where the instruction for the course comes from. All right. You will have 3 categories of grades. You will have lab work, which will be labs that we actually do, online labs. We're still working on those. So by any means, if you're trying to do a lab, it doesn't make sense, let me know. I've made explanation videos that kind of walk you through the lab and how it works, because some of the labs are not very good about explaining how to do them. For some of them, others, I think I found some better labs. So hopefully that will go smoother. And I'm going to count that. Also in the lab category, I'm going to put the quizzes on each chapter. Okay. Then we also have a daily work, which will be the review questions. Each chapter will have some review questions. You'll post. Your grade for those will primarily be a completion grade. Okay. And then not the lab and the quizzes, sorry, but the daily work. And then 65% of your grade will be from your exams. We will have 4 exams. The last one, the 4th exam, will not be comprehensive. It will be over the last however many chapters, 3 or 4 chapters that we cover. However, in order to encourage everybody to keep working hard on that last exam, if you make a higher grade on that 4th exam, it will count as your 4th exam no matter what. But if you make a high enough grade, it's higher than one of your earlier grades, I will replace them with that final grade, okay, or that final test grade, and I'll put it in place of the earlier test grade as well. All right, so we'll see how that works. That usually works pretty good, keeps everybody excited about that last test. All right, there are notes. I do post an outline of notes. It's kind of like a redacted version where I've highlighted all, just blanked out all the important stuff. If that helps you, it's in Word. It's also in PDF. If that helps you and you would like to start with that, if you'd like to make your own from scratch, I do highly recommend that you take notes. But at any rate, there are those if you choose to use them. All right. Late work, obviously, if they're late work, it will be penalized. You can certainly turn some things in early if you do, but there will be a penalty for late, depending. Usually half off or something like that on the questions, and then we'll, depending on other things, how we'll see. All right, this class schedule, roughly we're trying to take 2 chapters per week. Okay, since we're doing the 8-week course, boom, everything's a little packed. So, for example, we'll start with Intro to Science, the first unit, and it will have a test by, I believe, on Wednesday. The work will usually be due on Tuesday. Then you'll have Wednesday to take the quiz. Then the next unit will start, and usually the work we do on Friday, and then you have Saturday and Sunday to take the quiz, and it's kind of on the weekend, and that gives you a little flexibility as to when you want to take that. Okay, and then again, next week, boom, you're back to the first half of it. Okay, now we will have, like I said, 4 exams. I will give you a couple of days to take the exam. I think the first 2 and the last one are kind of over the weekend, so that gives you a little bit more time and everything, and that works pretty good. The 3rd one, I think, just way the timing works out and everything, it will be in the middle of the week, so I'll probably give you like Wednesday to Friday or something like that to take it. Okay, but anytime in that time period you can do that. All quizzes and tests will use lockdown browser, which should be over here on the side. You can click that. Basically, it just freezes you on the one page, and you can't flip-flop in other pages in the browser while you do that. You do not have to worry about the camera and the monitoring with the camera and stuff. We're not going to do that. All right, grading criteria is pretty straightforward. 90 to 100 is an A, 80 to 89 is a B, C, 70 79 a D, 60 69. Okay, and once again, there's your percentages of lab exams, labs, and daily work. All right. Then you have some of the academic, all the things they have us put on there. Not unimportant stuff, but it's there for all your classes, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time going into that. All right. So going back to our home page, like I said, you've got. There we go. Hang on. Uh-oh, clicked on something. Didn't mean to there. Sorry. Okay. All right. Here we go. Here's your copies of your syllabus up here. Like I said, if you want to do Word or PDF copies, so you have a written copy. All right. Now, there are buttons here for each unit. 13 and 14 are too long to fit over here where they're supposed to, probably most of the time when you look at it, depending on what kind of device. But in theory, they go 1 through 7 on this side and then 8 through 14 on this side, but that may not work out depending on what kind of device you're looking at it on. But the key thing is you can also get to the units by going to modules. All right, but these once you're on the first module, that's great, but when you get down to about the 14th one, you have to scroll down the module page. It's handier if you just come over here and click on the 14th chapter, and it will take you directly to it. Of course, I say that, it's not doing it, so we'll see here. Hang on. All right, there we go. All right, and it will take you directly to Unit 14. Okay, now, this is how most of my units are set up. There are the outlines of the notes, okay, either as a PDF or a Word doc, whichever you prefer. Then there are the lecture videos, in this case, property of light, so video lectures. These are usually 15-minute segments. There's anywhere from they're no more than 15 minutes long each one, so the good news is that if you fall asleep in the middle of it, you don't have too far to backtrack and figure out where you fell asleep at, and hopefully you might get through the whole 15 minutes without sleeping. So anyhow, that's kind of how those work. And there's anywhere from 3 to 5 of them, maybe 6 one chapter or so, but for the most part 3 to 5 videos, okay, and you watch those. I didn't look at one of the notes, but if you want to look at the notes, I guess we should do that just so you can see them. And it should pop up here eventually. Hopefully you'll have faster internet. And it's got some pictures I use, it's got this, and it got some of the vocabulary and stuff. Some of it you may not be able to figure out exactly what I wanted you to fill it in with, but it just gives you kind of a gist of how the notes run, and so hopefully you can find what you would you can kind of help you take your notes. If it doesn't help you take your notes, fine, just do your own notes, and not a problem. All right. There's also usually going to be a video of some demos and labs that I would have done in class. All right. Also a YouTube video. But anyhow, you click on that and watch those. Okay. These are just demos that we did to help illustrate the points we're trying to make. It also kind of hits the highlights of the lecture, so it's kind of a good review of that. All right. Then you're going to have some questions for the chapter. That will come up. There we go. Okay. Now, the questions, you can download a Word document, fill it out, and submit it. Okay, as also a PDF if that works for you. A lot of people just type in their answers in this, and I forget exactly how it looks for you, but you have a text box like this where you can actually answer the questions in there. If that's up to you, totally. Once again, all of the questions for every single chapter are available as of June 3rd. So if you want to go and do every single question for every single chapter, you can start on that from the first week on. But hopefully you're busy enough you won't have time to do that. But anyhow, you can do them 10 minutes before midnight when they're due. On the July 20th, for this example, if you want to wait till 11:30 and finish it, then more power to you if you could do that. All right? But the questions are always available there if you would like to do them. There will be some of those for each chapter. They vary. Some are short, some are a little bit longer. Just depends on the chapter. All right? And then the last thing, of course, will be a quiz. Every chapter will have a quiz. It'll say required to respond to this thing. When I do it, it just takes me to the setup thing, so I will not do it. But for you, it'll give you a chance to take the quiz. The quizzes are usually, I believe, 20 minutes. Once again, the tests are usually an hour and something. Should have plenty of time, assuming you're reasonably prepared for them. I don't think that's a problem. Just for the record, they will have cartoons, so if you're pressed for time, then finish all the questions first and then see if he'll let you go read the cartoons later, okay? But anyhow, it will cut off at 20 minutes, so if you get interrupted in the middle of it, then you're kind of out of luck. So you can call me and we can try to reset it up, but preferably sit down, take the quiz, finish it, get it done when you do that, okay? All right. So that's how most chapters look. Now, I do that to show you that the first chapter, and you can see how long it takes to scroll up here. Probably faster to go to the home page and click on Chapter 1, Unit 1. All right. The first one has notes, has video lectures. It has a couple of worksheets here. This one is a worksheet. This one's a worksheet. This one just you read a paragraph and respond to it. This is you watch a short video and respond to it. So there's not a whole lot of work to these. This one's a little longer involved. So you will need to do those instead of questions. It has a couple of different assignments, but other than that, it's pretty much the same. Then you still have a quiz down here. All right. You do have some course introduction material, which is there at the front. One is an introduction. It's due pretty quick, first day it looks like. So it's just where you tell me a little bit about yourself. Why are you taking the class? you know, you heard what a great instructor it was. I have to have it for this, whatever, kind of what you hope to get out of it. Um, Pictures are optional if you want to. It's always kind of nice to get a picture, but I don't, have to have a picture. Anyhow, that's what those are. And then there's a couple things here: academic, academic integrity policy, which basically just says I'm not going to cheat. Boom, and an online student statement, which says I think basically you're not going to cheat or do things wrong on the internet, and those are done. They're real quick, 5 points, boom, you're done, and you're off to 100 average if you do those three right. All right, then you have your chapter, like I said, and every so often you will have a test after test number 4, after test number 8, and then I think test number 11. So the first 2 tests are for 4 chapters apiece. The last 2 are for 3 chapters apiece. Okay, and that's kind of how that works. Oh, there will also be pivot labs. Sorry, not every chapter will necessarily have one, and some of them I'm changing, so they're not 100% set up. But they'll have a pivot lab, and you'll click on that, and it probably won't show me what it would show you, and it's probably saying you can't get there anyhow right now. But it will eventually take you over to Pivot Interactive, so it'll kind of take you off of Canvas. Even though it's tied into Canvas, it's kind of a different web page. And this is just showing me to grade it. For you, it would show questions, a lab, and what you need to do to start doing that lab. Okay, usually they have a little video that goes with it showing the actual lab being done. Then they'll ask you some questions about it based on that lab. Okay, and so you will have some of those as well. Okay, let's see if there's anything else I can think of on the modules. Wait for our resident motorcyclist to go by there. All right. I don't know. It's kind of like hot rod cars. If it makes that much noise at 15 to 20 miles an hour, I'd be afraid it's going to fall apart. But that's just me. Okay. Anyhow, getting back to the course. Let's see what else. There are some study materials. Basically, these are the answers for whatever assignments. If you click on it for exam number 1, if you click on it, all right, these are not highlighted, but they will be links, and I will have a key. Since the keys will be available the morning after the assignment is due. So if your questions are due on Tuesday, then on Wednesday morning, you can expect the answers to be posted there. Now, I may go through and check wrong answers or ones that need to be looked at and stuff like that, or I may not. So just because you got all credit for the assignment does not mean that you got all the right answers. So I would recommend you go through the key, check your answers, make sure you've got the right answers. And that will be for each unit. So Unit 2, Unit 3, Unit 4, so forth. Okay, that's exam number 1. And each exam will have its own materials. Then there will be a button that takes you to the module page where you can take the actual exam. All right. Let's see, anything else on that? And I think that's pretty much it. There are some things here about contact methods and so forth. You might read that if you haven't ever used Canvas before and so forth. Okay, other than that, I think that pretty well covers that. Buttons over here if you want to check grades. Obviously, you check grades. Announcements, if there are any announcements, they'll usually show up on your home page, but you can go there and check any. Since we're an online class, we will not record any lectures or anything. They've already been recorded for you, so we probably won't use big blue button, which is just for a live kind of Zoom type meeting or thing like that. Lockdown browser, which will be important. To get to your online textbook is the McGraw-Hill Connect. If you go through that, it will take you to that textbook, and you can use that. And that's probably pretty much all that you will need to use that we use in the class, but if something comes up, we'll let you know. All right. Other than that, I think that's kind of just get you familiar with what we're going to do and kind of how the class is set up and how it works. And otherwise, I'm hoping to see you, at least online, on June the 3rd. Have a great rest of the beginning of your summer until then. Bye.